Welcome children. Today we are going to discuss about monuments. In the last class we have studied about inscription. Now we are going to say about the monuments. Monuments are nothing but the temples, palaces, mosques, tombs, forts collectively called as monuments. The Sultans of Delhi introduced a new architecture with their arches, domes and minarets. Domes are nothing but a circular round roof which that gives us information to construct our medieval India. Some of the temples like Khajuraho, which is in Madhya Pradesh, Konark in Odisha, Dilwara, Mount Abu, Rajasthan. These are the religious centered cultural evolution in the North India. Come to the South India. Temples in Tanjavur, Gangaikonda Cholapuram and Dharasuram. It also signifies the structure of Cholas built in Tamil Nadu. Vittalasamy temple and Virupaksha temple at Hampi speaks about the contribution of Vijayanagar rulers. Now we are going to see about the important mosque which belongs to medieval India. Quat ul Islam Masjid, Mutki Masjid, Jama Masjid, Fatehpur Sikri Dargah. These are the important mosques belong to the medieval times. Now we are going to see about the historical importance of fort. That they are Agra Fort, Chittoor Fort, Gwalior Fort and Delhi Fort. Now, the palaces also plays an important role in the greatness of Rajput dynasty. Palaces in Jaipur, Jaisalmer and Jodhpur, which signifies the greatness of Rajput dynasty. Then, now we are going to see about this tombs of Iltutmish, Qutub Minar and Alai Darwaza, and which plays a significant role in the source of information. Turkish invader Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori also have stamped the figure of goddess Lakshmi on his gold coin and he have inscribed his name on it. This coin tells about the invader that he was likely liberal in the religious outlook. Copper jittals. Jittals are nothing but 3.6 grains of silver. Shows the study of period of Delhi Sultan. Silver Tanga. Silver Tanga is nothing but 48 jittals is equal to 1 silver tanga. It was introduced by Iltutmish. Alauddin Khalji's gold coins, Muhammad bin Tughlaq's copper token currency. He is the first person to introduce a copper token currency, which indicates the economic prosperity of the country at the time. Now we are going to see about the religious literature. Devotional movement in South India and in North India resulted in the Bhakti devotional literature. Kamba Ramayanam, Kamba's Ramayanam, Shekila's Periya Puranam. Nalaira Divya Prabandham was composed by 12 alvas and it was compiled by Nadamuni. Devaram, composed by Alvar, Sambandar and Sundarar and compiled by Nambiyandar Nambi. Manikavasagar wrote Tiruvasagam. These are all the evidence for our religious literature. Jayadeva wrote Gita Govindam. Kabidas, a poet, influenced the Bhakti movement in India. Now we are going to see about the secular literature. Secular is nothing but not religion based literature. Apart from the religion, there are some other literature which speaks about the medieval India. Ganga Devi. Madhura Vijayam was composed by Ganga Devi. Amukta in Telugu it was written by Krishna Deva Raya. It also gives an information about the Vijayanagar Empire. Then come to a Rajput king. Prithviraj Rasalu. It was written by Chand Barde, which speaks about the Rajput king's Veva. That is, Veva is nothing but brave. Now, the next one we are going to see about the books, biographies and autobiographies. Books, biographies and autobiography plays an important role in shaping the medieval period. Main Hajj us Shiraj, patronized by Sultan Nazir of slave dynasty, wrote Tabakat-i-Nazri. Tabakat is the Arabic word which means centuries. Then Taj ul Mazri. It provides an information about Qutbuddin Aibak. He is the first official history of Delhi Sultan. Then we are going to see about the Muhammad bin Tughlaq wrote Tariq-i-Firoz Sahih, which deals about the Delhi Sultan from Ghiyasuddin Balban to Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Tariq is a word, Arabic word which means history. Then Jahangir wrote his memory called Tuz-Hai Jahangiri. So these are the source of information which provides about the medieval India. Now come to the foreign travelers and the travelogues. Travelogues are nothing but the travel document by the foreigners. The travelers, namely Marco Polo, which he came during the Pandya kingdom in the port city of Kayal, Thoothukudi district of Tamil Nadu. From his account, we came to know that many ships were imported into South India by the sea from Arab and Persia. Then come to Al-Birni. Al-Birni accompanied Muhammad Ghazani and he stayed in India for nearly 10 years. In his book, he mentioned about the Muhammad Ghazani's Somnath expedition, plundered the Somnath expedition. Then come to discussion about the Indian condition, system of knowledge, social norms and religion. Next one, Ibn Battuta. Ibn Battuta is an Arab-born Morocco scholar. In his travel document, he mentioned about the caste system in India and the practice of sati. He also mentioned that Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq transferred his capital from Delhi to Devagiri in the south, converting this city, Delhi, into a desert. At last, we are going to see about in the south. The Vijayanagar had foreign visitors, namely an Italian named Niccolo Conti in 1420, Abdul Razak in 1443, and Domino Pairs, a Portuguese traveller, visited the Vijayanagar Empire in 1522. From all these records and observation, it tells about the glory of Vijayanagar Empire. Thank you for watching this video. In this lesson, we came to know about the sources of medieval India. Thank you for watching this.